Hello, fellow residents of Tamriel. It is the Beeve, and a very hectic work schedule has been keeping me from being able to post as many videos as I like. But I'm trying to get back on it with my day off today, here Sunday, and we're gonna see what we can accomplish. First and foremost, I want you to look at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. You're gonna see that my champion level right now is at 3,600. The PTS has finally been updated to where you can use all of your champion points. Uh, I don't know anybody who has 3,000 champion points. I heard there's people that do. Like on PC or on PlayStation, I am like 1350 or something like that. So I don't know too many people that are in like the 2000s or any higher than that. But apparently there are people on PC at least that are in like the 3000s, and I'm sure there are on console as well. But it's a little overwhelming trying to place 3600 CP. You can literally just fill everything out, but still, the problem that you run into with that is that you still have the champion bar that you have to equip things to. So we're not seeing like huge differences in damage by any means. Little bit, but not much. But we'll go through that when we get to the champion tree portion of this. I'm not going to try to take up too much of your time, but I'd like to show you exactly how it's looking now. Now, this video is about a Magicka DK, and very similar to like your Stam DKs, Dragon Knights thrive on damage over times. They have a lot of dots. I refer to them as connect the dots builds all the time, and the Mag DK is no different than the Stam DK when it comes to that. We are connecting a bunch of dots. So that is one of the reasons why I like the spell strat and I like the Medusa. I want those numbers at base on those abilities to be as high as possible and be able to be buffed even higher with that spell strat. And I want it to crit a lot too, so we're getting good numbers off those dots, because dots were nerfed a while back, and they're not as heavy hitting as they used to be. But in the right type of build like this right here, they're pretty potent. You'll see that here when we get to the parts of the video. So like I was just talking about, we have our sets here. We are using the Medusa. This is a heavy armor set out of Arx Caridium. And you'd want the weapons and the jewelry of this because it is a heavy armor set. We are using the Maelstrom Inferno Staff, not infused or not perfected. It is infused with a weapon and spell damage glyph. The Inferno Staff of Medusa, I'm using a precise for the extra spell critical, and I got a flame damage glyph on it. You'll see that Mag DKs thrive in fire, and everything about this build is flame related. We are using Zaun. This is a monster set found out of Scalecaller Peak. I'm sure everybody knows that by now, but just in case you don't. Spell Strategist, this is a Cyrodiil set. You can get this out of your coffers for your Rewards of the Worthy, or you can just buy it in traders. Very easy to get your hands on it. It is, I don't know, I like this set a lot. I like having this available to parse with and see how it performs on different builds and whatnot. It's one of my favorite sets, honestly. For people who don't know, the Spell Strategist is 1096 maximum magicka, 2 lines of spell damage, and your 5th bonus is when you use a light attack, you place a mark over the target for 5 seconds, granting you an extra 460 spell damage against that marked target. You can only have one marked target at a time, and the effect can occur every 4 seconds. So you can keep a 100% you can keep a 100% uptime on this if you are light attack weaving correctly. So I think this is why I like this set so much, because we're not using any type of heavy attack in this rotation whatsoever. Everything is a light attack weave, and we keep this up 100% of the time. Now, another option in this situation is Burning Spell Weave. This is a light set out of City of Ash and City of Ash 2. Very similar to each other. Both Both have 1096 maximum magicka. Both have 129 spell damage. The Burning Spell Weave adds a little bit of spell critical opposed to the spell damage that the Spell Strategist provides. And the difference in the fifth piece bonus is when you use a flame damage ability with the Burning Spell Weave, it applies the burning status effect, and then when that happens, it raises your spell damage by 490 for 8 seconds, and it can go off every 12 seconds. So there is not a 100% uptime on this Burning Spell Weave set, and that is why, in my opinion, from parsing it out and whatnot, the Spell Strategist outperforms just a tad little bit, and you can keep that 100% uptime on the Spell Strategist. Even though that it's a little bit lower on the fifth piece bonus by 30 spell damage, you keep it up 100% of the time. So um, the the spell strategist outperforms a little bit. Now, I have done it with the burning spell weave. I have done it with the spell strategist, and I've even done it with the false gods as well. Um, the burning spell weave and spell strategist do outperform the false gods just a tad little bit. If it was perfected false gods, I'm pretty sure that would be outperforming than on top of the over the spell strategist and burning spell. I could be wrong. I haven't tested it, but um, it is much easier to get burning spell weave and spell strategist than it is to get perfected false gods. So that is that's why I like. That's why I like using the spell strategist. It's very easy to get your hands on, and you don't have to worry about trying to be in a good trial guild and being able to get through hard veteran trials to get perfected gears and whatnot. All of our body pieces are spell strat, and all of them have magic glyphs, and all of them are divines for the increased Mundustone effect. Our jewelry, this is all of our Medusa jewelry. All of them have spell damage glyphs on them, and all of them are in Bloodthirst. Look at our character sheet real quick. Yeah, I thought so. Let me grab. Come on, there it is. I am using the Ghastly Eyeball. This provides max magicka and magicka recovery. This is a light attack rotation, so we are depending on this high magicka recovery and our ultimates to keep our resources up with a match DK. So with my food on, 36,616 maximum magicka with a 1393 recovery. 20,002 maximum health. Right now it's at a 925 recovery because of a passive I have on from my champion tree. I'll show that in a few minutes. And then maximum stamina sitting at 13,822. Spell damage on, this is our Maelstrom bar. Spell damage is at 3373 with a 38.9% crit rating. And 6,095 spell penetration. Spell resistances on DKs are very nice. You're at 18,000 at base, and physical is at 11,000 at base. All of our points are in magicka, and we are using the Shadow Mundustone for 17% more increased critical damage done. When we're on our Medusa bar, things change a tad little bit. So our max magicka went down a little bit, and our recovery went down a little bit too. That's weird. Anyway, Um, Health is still the maximum health is still the same. Stamina is still the same. Spell damage is at 3373. Spell critical is at 53.1. Penetration is still at 6095. And resistance has stayed the same as well. To go into our champion tree real quick, this is where look at all these. I got points in everything because they gave me 1,200 points to put in this tree. So I got points in everything here. But the green tree, you can kind of just do what you want with it. The red tree, the same thing, however you like. These trees don't do too much for damage output or anything. I like to make sure that I have my ironclad, my boundless vitality, my rejuvenation, and right now I have strategic reserve on. This gives me 30 health recovery for every 10 ultimate that I have stored up. I do like to have this one on sometimes as well, like if you're in arenas and things like that. The siphoning spells will give you back, when it's fully maxed out like this one is right here, you get back 1500 magicka every time you kill something. So in arenas, that's really nice for sustain. Plus, there's all kinds of points all over the place that you can put to kind of do what you want with, honestly. But our warfare tree, this is where we're gonna check this out. Like, got a bunch of stuff down here and there just to use the points in this tree, honestly. But all of these down here need to be equipped. None of them are equipped. The points are just in them to be in them. All the ones in this little purple tree right here, all of these are passives. So if we have the points to be able to put it in there without robbing ourselves from our abilities that we want to equip, then by all means fill these in. You are looking at 4% more healing taken. You're looking at totally maxed out 4% damage reduction from magic, 4% damage reduction from physical poison and disease, and then 8% less damage from non-player attacks when you have these maxed out. So that's some nice damage mitigation right there. I didn't put anything in critical resistance because I'm not taking this into PvP. Over here in this other little purple tree as well, I maxed out my offensive penetration for an extra 1400 penetration. Maxed out my chance of applying a magical status effect by 30% per stage, so we get a 60% increase on that. And then putting 30 points into War Mage right here gives me another 100 weapon and spell damage to my magical attacks. Now I do have the Timeless Discipline filled in just because I have the points for it, so it gives me extra stamina. So you got a little bit more base stamina to dodge, roll, and block with, and it's kind of nice to have, honestly, because you don't have to have this equipped. So you can if you have the extra points and want some more stamina just for your blocking and your dodge rolling on your Mage tunes, it's available right here. I have the Eldritch Insight. This is giving me another 1,004 maximum magicka. And I have this filled in over here too. Increase your healing done by 1% per stage. I mean, a lot of times we're healing ourselves with passives and whatnot, or even just if we're using, like on this Dragonite build right here, I'm using Coagulated Blood. If you're using a Stam tune that you're running Vigor on, this is nice to have. If you have the extra points, you can put this in here. This does not have to be equipped. I have my Precision maxed out for an extra 640 critical chance, and this is one that also does not need to be equipped as well. Now, the ones that I do have equipped at the moment is I have my Fighting Finesse for 10% more critical damage done and critical healing. I have my Backstabber for critical damage done by 3% against enemies you are flanking or standing behind. We have Deadly Aim, which is this is equipped. This gives my single target abilities, 10% more damage done when they are when used on a target. Thaumaturge for our damage over time. We have a lot of single target damage over time abilities that we're throwing out, so we definitely want this maxed out for 10%. So these are the 4 that we have equipped to our bar right now. We have the Thaumaturge, the Deadly Aim, the Fighting Finesse, and the Backstabber. Having points in other ones, like certain fights, maybe you can't stand behind a target to get the more damage, so you could take off Backstabber and then put on here's this one right here, Wrathful Strikes, sorry. It grants you another 165 weapon and spell damage. This makes things that you kill violently explode for 2,000 Oblivion damage in a 4-meter radius, and when you max it out, it's actually 4,000 Oblivion damage. So you can make things blow up and do damage to other things. That's kind of maybe nice for like arenas and stuff like that, getting that extra blowback to kill other things. That's kind of cool. But that's the blue tree right there that I have set up at least. You have plenty of points to work with, or if you have plenty of points to work with, you can have other things filled in, and then depending on what dungeon you're in, you can slot things differently at the beginning of the dungeon, knowing if you know how the dungeon goes. So, red tree, I literally just have points in equipped my rejuvenation, my ironclad, my boundless vitality, and strategic reserve. You can kind of do what you want with this, but didn't want to spend so much time on this. Look, I got tired of putting in points. There's still 233 points that I could put in my fitness. I just got tired of applying them. But this took up a little bit of time right here, but I wanted to kind of show you how the champion tree is looking at the moment. Alright, so skills. We're using Blockade of Fire and not Unstable Wall. I like the Blockade right here because I want to be able to... I want a little longer uptime on this because I have some abilities on my Medusa bar that I want to fire off and get the most damage out of them as I can. I want to be on this bar. I want to be on this Medusa bar as long as I can be. So I'm using the Blockade of Fire and not the Unstable Wall. I'm using Eruption. This is a very expensive ability, but it does almost 6,200 damage immediately, and then 1,500 damage every second for the duration of 18 seconds. So it's a nice little ability right here, but it is costly. 5103 is costly, but we can mitigate that. I'll show you how we do it. Scalding Rune. I love this ability. This is like my secret weapon. It's 8,000 damage up front and then 9,300 damage over time. I really like this ability. It's not very expensive. 2,400 magicka. I have Coagulated Blood. You could put spiked armor here if you wanted to as well. It's kind of just a flex spot, but it's a nice healing spell. And, I mean, it heals for a lot. 12k right there. I have Inner Light on this bar, mainly just because I'm trying to get a little bit more oomph out of those dots, so I added some Max Magicka to my build by putting Inner Light on both bars, on my front and back bars. I am using the Standard of Might. This is great ultimate right here. It is 5,000 or 4,500 damage every second for 20 seconds, and when you're standing in it, you get 15% increased damage done and reduction of damage done to you by 15%, plus a 9,000 points, 9,000 damage synergy for somebody to synergize. My back bar, I am using Burning Embers. This is a upfront damage and damage over time that will heal you as well, and applies the burning status effect. Engulfing Flames is almost 6k upfront damage and then 13,000 over 11 seconds. Not a whole lot of damage over time, but it also, if you, depending on your how high your spell damage is, Affected enemies take more damage from all flame attacks based on your offensive stats, with a maximum of 10% bonus to damage taken. I have my stuff good enough that I am getting a 10% bonus to the flame damage. So this ability right here is allowing everything else to do more damage as well. I have my Molten Whip. Um, this right here is just an ability that we're going to activate after we, while this is slaughtered. Whenever you activate a different Ardent Flame ability, you gain a stack of Seething Fury, which increases the damage of your next Molten Whip by 33%, and your weapon and spell damage by 75 for 5 seconds, and it stacks up to 3 times. Um, we're only using this ability when we get to that third stack, just for the backflip crack of the whip there, as I like to call it, because it hits like a truck. So we'll show you how that goes. Unrelenting Grip. This might be a little unconventional for some people, but this right here, this is your chain pull that Dragon Knights have on tanks and whatnot. What is great about this is that on boss fights and things like that, you obviously cannot chain pull a boss. So with this ability, the Unrelenting Grip, if the target is not able to be pulled, you restore 100% of the ability's cost as magicka. So you're literally getting almost 5,500 damage for free because you can't pull bosses and whatnot. So in boss fights, this is really nice. It does decent damage, especially because we're gonna have our spell strat up and our Medusa on, so it's gonna crit a good bit. And we're gonna use this ability. It's 3 times in a row to make it 3 free a cast in a row. And then we're gonna use after the third one, we're always gonna smack that Molten Whip, so it does that backflip heavy damage one. So it's a little bit different, a little bit unconventional, but it's pretty fun to play with, to be honest with you. Fill up my ultimate there. So the rotation on this is going to be blockade, light attack, light attack eruption, light attack scalding rune. Then we're going to bar swap. It'll be light attack engulfing flames, light attack burning embers, light attack chain pull, and then we're going to light attack with our Molten Whip and get the big crack out of it. Then we're going to light attack chain pull 3 times in a row again. Light attack chain pull, light attack chain pull, light attack chain pull, then light attack Molten Whip again. And then we're going to bar swap and start over. So it's a little bit involving, but a lot of the damage we do, especially when we get to like the chains right here, this helps us. We're going to be getting back magicka as we're, every 2 seconds we're getting back magicka because of our recovery. And when we're using the chain pull right here, we're doing damage and then getting the cost of it refunded. So we are we're able to help ourselves sustain using that. And Dragon Knights also have the what is it, Battle Roar, I think it's called. Yeah, so when you use an ultimate ability, you restore 47 health, 46 magicka, and 46 stamina for each point of ultimate cost. And that Dragon Knight standard is 250 ultimates. So you get back a lot of resources really quick, just from dropping this standard. Alright, so let's give you a look at what the rotation looks like here. How well it performs. And then we'll let you guys get back to your day here. Putting on my elemental susceptibility, and we will start. See how that just worked right there? Now some of these other abilities are really expensive, but offsetting it with these free chain pulls that are critting for 12k are it's nice. standard, get back some resources for it. We'll just go ahead and finish this off real quick, and boom, there we go. 45,558. That is really good damage right now in this, with this update 29 coming. This is on the PTS. With this is everything. It's this is update 29 stuff. This is what we're going to see on PC on the 8th or 9th of March, and then we'll see it on the, I think, 16th of March on console. So that right there is 45,000 damage right there. It's getting a good bit of damage, plain and simple. And like I said before, like right there, that's set up perfectly for me, following what my champion points are able to do. I'm able to stand behind the target, get the extra crit damage from standing behind my target. If you're in a dungeon where you can't do that, you can obviously unequip that and equip something different, so that if you're somewhere where you're not able to flank, then you can change that out and put something else on that's going to be better suited for the dungeon or trial that you're in, obviously. But 45k in damage is pretty good damage right there. If this setup on this trial Atronach, I'm not going to get into it on this video right here, but it is what did I hit with this? I think 74, 73 or 74k I hit with this build on the trial Atronach. So yeah, I'm sure there's people out there hitting way harder or for way more damage and using different abilities and different gear sets and whatnot. Uh, this is a little bit unconventional, but I like it. It's kind of fun to mess around with. I'm gonna mess around with this a little bit more today. I'm actually gonna take it into some different scenarios and whatnot, and see exactly what I can figure out about it and what I like more about it, or maybe I'll start disliking things about it. I don't know, but that's all I got for you guys. Sorry to make this so long. I just wanted to kind of get into some things and show you about the champion tree, with it having it being fully open now. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it greatly. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe so you can get all the updates on the new or all the videos on builds and stuff that I'm messing around with for update 29 coming. So thank you once again for tuning in. I appreciate it greatly, and happy adventuring.